I'm Daryl Reeves, and just continuing on with this little mini-series on building strong confidence, and in particular, having the confidence to speak up. I've heard it said on a number of occasions that the fear of public speaking is one of the major fears of the majority of people. It's kind of second or third to death by fire or some tragic thing like that. It doesn't seem right to me, but I've heard it said a few times now, and I'm no social scientist, so I don't really know the facts, but I do know that a lot of people really are terrified by speaking up. And I remember a few years ago doing Jordan Peterson's personality profile test, which, by the way, if you're interested in that kind of thing, I highly recommend it. It's fantastic. I don't know how much of it's actually his or gleaned from other psychologists, scientists around the place, but you can take it on his website. It's fantastic. It's called The Big Five. And from memory, because I did do it a while ago, the 5 categories are openness, conscientiousness, and what else? Disagreeableness, agreeableness, and creativity, or something like that. Anyway, I know that I scored in the absolute top of openness, and open people don't like to hear contrary or contradicting or rejecting kind of points of view. And so for someone with the personality type that's like mine, very open, public speaking can be a real challenge. And I remember in the early days when I started doing it, it was exactly that. But I remember also someone taught me that, Daryl, experience builds confidence. And so if you want to be confident about speaking up and overcome those feelings that you have of rejection and embarrassment and vulnerability and etc., then there's nothing like practice, doing it. And to be able to do it and overcome those initial emotions and feelings, it's important to realize that you're going to have them so they don't take you by surprise. The thing about the chemicals that are released from our brain and into our body to create certain reactions like fight and flight, the adrenal gland, it happens in our body so fast you can't possibly control it, except with practice you can be ready for it. It's like embarrassment. Usually your face flushes more quickly than you can do anything about controlling it. And a lot of these chemicals in our brain are designed for our benefit, but out of balance, they can hinder us from what we're really wanting to achieve in life. So that's what this little series is about, building your confidence through practice and through understanding of knowing what the process is. Because when you are more confident, it will impact your health, it'll impact your social health, your relationships, it'll impact how you get along in your family, how you get along in your business, how you get along with your kids. And so it's so important to learn what this process is and to understand these sometimes negative feelings that we get in our body, feelings, as I've mentioned, of vulnerability, but shame, that's a big one for a lot of people. It was a big one for me growing up. I felt that reaction in my body, and anger is another one for a lot of people, and I can relate to that. And bitterness and disappointment is something that people just don't want these emotions. They don't want these feelings in their body. Frustration, that kind of feeling. A lot of you can relate to that. I know you can. Vulnerability and helplessness. These are things that we don't want. We shy away, and we've built all these mechanisms to control how often and how long these feelings come and last in our body and how we can avoid them. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's 100% normal. But if you want to build confidence, and if you're not happy with some things that are going on, and just being quiet about it, that's not going to change it. Speaking up might give you a chance, and at the very least it'll make you feel like you've expressed yourself. Because one thing people really desire is the need to be heard. When we're being ignored, we don't like that. That also is something that we really, really don't like and don't want, because it's a sign of, that makes us feel disrespected. So we've built all these bad habits to avoid and disconnect and distract ourselves. Some people run to the fridge to distract themselves from things they know they really ought to be doing, things they ought to be facing. Some people run to substances, alcohol, drugs, and sex, and other things they run to avoid facing what really is the primary thing that needs to be faced. And so I've made the point a couple of times, I want to make it again in this talk, that personal development is so much a part of learning to be confident and speak up. And I'm really somebody who's highly interested in personal development, both for myself and transmitting what I know, anything I think that might be helpful to other people that are, that are needing it, wanting it, desiring it, not quite knowing where to look. And so, rather than be someone who uses these distractions and avoidance and maybe going into moodiness and sulking and, having all this kind of thing going on in your life, I want to help you how to face these challenges. And something that I just thought today would be really good to tell you is just, even if you don't want to stand up and say a lot or speak up and say a lot, say something really short like, I really like that, or I really don't like that, and sit down or shut up and finish your saying there, because that's progress, and all progress is praiseworthy. When you like something, say it with a smile, with as much enthusiasm as you can muster. Hey, I really like that, thanks. Or, hey, I really don't feel good about that, sorry. And sit down, shut up, and see where that leads. Because one thing it will lead to is you feeling like you expressed yourself, and that's a start. And in the next session, I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about how to be perhaps a little more eloquent than just maybe one sentence or so. And we'll get into just sharing your feelings, your story, what's important to you, speaking up just a little bit more so that you can have a little bit more confidence. Because people that can speak confidently can do a lot of other things confidently. Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you're finding this little series in any way helpful, you think someone else might do the same, please don't hesitate to share it. Do me so much good. I really love it. And I'm on a mission to promote values and contentment for people that can help them feel better. And I'd love you to team up with me and help me do it. Thanks so much. Bye.